Hey everybody, this is Kyle with attackofthefanboy.com. With me as well, and this is Star Wars Battlefront, specifically the beta. So I got to get some early access with the game. I played a bunch of matches last night, and you're just kind of going to get a look at all the features that are in there. There's a lot that's cut. It's pretty trimmed down because it is obviously a beta, but we'll chat about it. So Will, what's your connection with Star Wars Battlefront? I think you played it at E3.
Yeah, I played it at E3. I wasn't as high on it as you guys were, just because it felt... I didn't have a very good time playing this game at E3, to be honest with you.
Really?
I didn't understand everything that was going on. We were
Okay. Did you
playing.
play?
We were playing this level. It was the one where you take down the. Is it AT-AT? That thing right there.
Yep.
That thing that's
Yep.
on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, it wasn't like the trailer. It wasn't me flying around, tying this thing up, and it was just like me running out there, getting shot, going back in. What does this icon mean? What does this do? What does that do? I mean, the gunplay felt good. It felt like a Battlefield game, but without any frame of reference as to like what I'm
Gotcha.
supposed to be doing. You know how it is when you're at those things. It's like, well,
Yep.
you're learning on the fly. And
Yes.
at the end of this, I had learned nothing.
Did you play the past Battlefront games?
Yeah, I did, but I wasn't really into shooters and stuff at that point. So
Okay.
I
I
played it.
played
I
a
owned
ton
it.
of them. I loved them, and so this had very high expectations from me, and everything that I've played from E3 to this beta has me so excited.
Yeah, you
I,
want
I
to have sex with this game.
I do.
Basically.
I don't get excited about that many games, especially not Nintendo games. So
Right.
when it gets me hyped, it is something special, and I think Battlefront has me pretty hyped.
Yeah, you were high on it at E3.
I mean, it looks gorgeous, just straight off the bat. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's running at 60 frames. It looks 60 frames or not, but it looks amazing. And this is on PS4, so the thought of getting this on my superpowered PC is just driving me crazy. I really, really want to see this on my PC. The sound effects are ridiculous.
Yeah,
They are
Dice
so
is always
true.
really, really solid with their sound design.
Yeah, and getting that into the Star Wars universe is just fantastic. This is the Hoth battle, which obviously every Star Wars game has to have. This is right now very one-sided. You are seeing me play as the Empire because if you play as the Rebels, you're gonna lose. That's just the way that it works right
The
now.
rebels are the ones that are holding off the attack.
Exactly. Yeah, our AT-ATs are marching towards the Hoth shield generators. Their job is to stop us. But in order to do that, they have to turn on these uplinks, and then the uplinks tell the Y-wing bombers where to go to attack the AT-ATs. And once it charges up, they attack, and then everyone can hit the AT-ATs. Otherwise, they don't do any damage. But right now, no one really has the weapons or the strategy to take them down. So I think I haven't heard of a single Rebel team winning. I'm sure someone pulled it off, but none that I've been a part of. So
Dice's Battlefield games, I mean, you can look back at a lot of them, and attacking and defending in like the rush modes and stuff like that there's always been maps that are lopsided.
yeah,
Or
and I
slanted
mean,
towards a
it's
specific.
really early. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I'm sure it's going to get fixed, but right now it is a little frustrating.
And how's it play? I mean, what do you feel of the gameplay?
Fantastic. Yeah, it's it is. Here's a hero,
hell?
by the way, that they pop up and murder you. I did not get selected to be a hero, but that's
How does
just
that
the way it
happen?
goes. I think it's a little random. I don't know because I'm actually playing extremely well in this game, so it's not just picking like the top player or the top three players or something. There's something to it. It could be a power up that is on the level. Because that's how you get into vehicles, is you find a power-up on a level, and you stand there, and then you get to spawn in a vehicle.
Are those the spinning icons that are on the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Every time I
So-
kept running to those. I mean, that's pretty intuitive when I was playing the game. I kept running to those, and then I'd run to it, and nothing would be there.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them don't do anything. Maybe it's because I don't know how to work them. there's still a little bit of a learning curve going on, but it's much better here than it was at E3. At E3, I had no idea what to do. Here, I've actually found some vehicles, spawned in them. It's worked pretty well.
Now, do you notice that is this like a Battlefield game in that people are just waiting by those spawn points? I mean,
Nope.
no.
No, they're scattered about throughout the level, and they spawn at different times. So I haven't seen anyone just standing there and waiting on them.
That would be cool if DICE managed to fix that problem, because that has always been a problem with Battlefield games, is just those people that I only like flying the helicopter. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to sit here until the helicopter spawns, and then I'm going to take it. And then people are shooting at him, and I mean, you know how that goes. You play Battlefield.
Yeah. I don't see that being a huge problem, but we'll see. I'm sure that they'll get it fixed if it is. So yeah, I see Darth Vader, and I follow him for like quite a while.
Now, are those guys always out on the field? Because I didn't see those guys at E3.
They weren't unlocked at E3. They got put in for the beta though. You can kill them, and I would assume that there's a kind of a cooldown period, because all of your abilities work off cooldowns. I have a grenade, a long-range rifle, if you look in the bottom right, and a ion charger. The ion gun, it does more damage to shields and vehicles. So if I'm kind of going up against one, I would switch to that. But here you go. So I'm running up to one of these, and I'm gonna jump into a TIE fighter and fly around. This took some getting used to. I don't know that the controls are quite there. You actually, all of your movement is the right stick, and you control your throttle with the left stick, so up and down. And then targeting is really tough, but if you hold L2, it kind of locks onto them. And that, once I figured that out, it was much better, but we'll see how this does. I mean, the Battlefront vehicle stuff was always better when it was in space, in my opinion, and those aren't going to happen in this game, which is unfortunate.
It looks like you have quite a lot of room to maneuver around, though.
Yeah, it's decent amount of room. Actually, targeting people, though, is really tough. Like, you gotta, point yourself at the ground and spot them in this huge landscape and pick them off. But
but that's always been something with Battlefield. It's hard to mow people down while you're flying the jet.
Yeah.
If you try and do it, it's kind of fun. You might crash.
Yeah, it probably keeps me from just sitting in a TIE fighter and killing everyone.
That's true.
But the dogfighting, I mean, it was fun. Once I got the hang of it, this was literally my first time in a vehicle. And after just a little bit, I kind of had a good idea of what I was doing. So that was fun. It's not to the point, I wouldn't see myself standing there waiting for a TIE fighter to spawn, just because this isn't by far the most fun you can have in the game. It's just another aspect of the game.
And this beta right now, this is only on PlayStation 4? Is this exclusive?
I think so. At least starting out. It may be on PC as well. I would have to check on that, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think that might have been one of the things they were pushing. PlayStation owners get the early access for the beta. And I think they're opening that up to everybody.
It is. Yeah, it's going to be open to everybody starting Thursday, which we are recording this on Wednesday. So I finally took somebody out. I was pretty proud of that.
There you go. I'm surprised that no one has taken you out in all this time.
I know, right? The debris, literally, you could hear it sprinkling my windshield. The sound work, phenomenal. Really, really phenomenal. I don't think I have a point where I'm inside of a shield, but that was probably my favorite sounds in the game. So there's more than just this, though. We're going to get into in a little bit. This is the Hoth battle. There's one more multiplayer mode that's kind of a smaller, more deathmatchy sort of mode. And then they also have a little bit of the single player / co-op. That was Darth Vader choking somebody.
Is this the only... do you think this is going to be the main attraction for this game? This mode here?
Yep.
And then just set across different maps?
Yeah, the huge battles with 40 versus 40 or something crazy or maybe it's 40 total, 20 versus 20.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, these are going to be the where everyone spends most of their time. It's where I'll spend a ton of time.
Is this the only one of these types that is in the beta?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so there's one of
There's one of a smaller one, which is sort of like capture, where you're capturing points on the map. This is, that multi-stage. Like we went to that first area. I think this is about 3 stages where they get a chance to take out the AT-ATs, which they will never ever do until DICE changes something in the beta.
But what? How? I thought they were supposed to just fly around them. And remember, I mean, you told me this is easy to do. Fly around
Oh,
them.
the speeders. I'm sure that they probably are. I actually got to try the snow speeder one time when I was playing as the rebels, and I think I crashed when I was trying to fly around them. It can be done, I'm sure, but everybody's got to get used to it. The rebels have a higher learning curve on this mission than the Empire does, easily.
Gotcha. When I see stuff like that, I'm like, that's not going to happen in a trailer. That
No, I
definitely.
think once people figure it out, once people get used to flying the snow speeders and how that all works, it'll work. I mean, I got just in my first time in a snow speeder, I got 2 times around before I either crashed or got shot. I can't remember which. So that shows how kind of quickly it can be done. I don't know if that takes them out though. That's a big question, because that seems like it'd be a little easy. There's only 2 of these things that you have to take out for the rebels to win. So if just flying around them actually does it, then that would be interesting.
Are there any new mechanics that have been added to the gameplay, like cover system, anything like that, or is it pretty straightforward as far as how Battlefield 4 played?
So yes, and I think that we're gonna get into that right after this match that we won fantastically. That I would say is probably the cards. I mean, you obviously have the heroes, but here you go. So these are the cards that I was talking about. So you can unlock these items. Only a few are available in the beta, and that changes. So it gives you special weapons. It gives you special abilities. Right now, it's kind of basic. You have that sniper shot, ion shot, and the grenade. But going down the road, you should have much more abilities that you can unlock, and it's going to be very, themed towards Star Wars instead of that modern military take that Battlefield has. So yeah, I it's probably a little bit less feature rich than Battlefield 4, just because there isn't any cover, there isn't anything like that. But that's okay. To me, the gameplay here, aside from just being a shooter, I wouldn't draw that much comparison to Battlefield. Maybe that's just me being crazy. I know it is a large battlefield of people, but I think just having that Star Wars theme over top and having different missions where, Battlefield doesn't have that mission structure of you have to take out AT-ATs, you have to take these spots, and then when that happens, you need to do this. There's just kind of capture and stuff like that thrown in. And this is the other
Levolution.
Levolution, jeez.
They had Levolution, man. There were some objectives.
Those weren't objectives, though. That was just like fun stuff you could do.
That was my objective.
Yeah. So this is the other mode that's in the beta, where you kind of capture these escape pods and then you just kind of defend them. So this really wasn't. I only played like 1 or 2 of these and got right back into Hoth because it's not super interesting, but it's more of a deathmatch feel. So if you are one of those more competitive, I just want to shoot people kind of players, this is definitely up there for you.
Gotcha. Yeah, it doesn't seem like this would be the best mode to play on. That other stuff looks like the star of the show. There's no destruction or anything like that in this game either, right?
Not like Levolution style destruction. Nothing.
But even like dropping buildings like Bad Company or anything like that, no?
No, not that I'm aware of, unless they introduce it later on. But see, I don't think that that's necessary. I think Battlefront survives on that just feeling like you're a part of a huge battlefield in the Star Wars universe. I think that's all that people want out of the series, and as long as they get that in a nice package, then they're going to be happy. And I think that that this has that pretty easily taken care of.
Yeah, obviously it's built on the same engine, the Frostbite engine, right?
Yeah.
Is that Frostbite 3?
Yeah, it's Frostbite.
And, just wondering if they use some of those other tools in there.
Gotcha.
Just because, I couldn't shake the feeling that it was very similar to Battlefield, but that's interesting that you say that it doesn't feel like that.
Like I said, maybe that's just me being biased. This is actually some of the single player stuff coming up. There's no campaign like they said, but this is kind of a horde mode survival type thing. So you can do 1 or 2 players. I only show a little bit here because it went on for like 20 minutes straight of 6 waves coming at me. But it was pretty interesting, and I got to try out some of the other abilities that I don't have unlocked in the multiplayer, like a grenade launcher, a jetpack that is really cool and lets you get around the level really well.
Is this sort of like a thing like Titanfall did with the campaign? It gives you a little bit of story, but they're just offering it through this kind of cooperative?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to have any sort of connecting thread between the survival missions. There's really only one in the beta, so it's tough to say. It seems like probably
a nice selection of game modes here in this beta.
Yeah, you get a taste of everything. There's the single player / co-op, the full blown, Battlefront experience of a giant war, and then just kind of the smaller mode. But they have more of it. You can see it all in the menus, and it's all sectioned off, like not available in the beta, just to tease you a little bit.
Interesting. I still don't know if I'm 100% sold on this game after even watching this, but it looks beautiful. That's for sure.
It does, yeah. I didn't play Battlefield on consoles, but I'm honestly shocked that the game looks this good on my PS4. Maybe it is because I'm crazy PC Master Race guy, but yeah, I was pretty impressed with seeing this in motion.
Battlefield 4 looked really good on PlayStation 4. It was up-resed on Xbox One, so it didn't look quite as sharp. But it looked good. It didn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as nearly as good as you can get it to look on PC, obviously. But you're right. On this game will probably look amazing on PC.
Yeah, the lighting effects, especially with like Hoth earlier with the snow. You actually see a little bit of destruction. It's nothing crazy, but you'll see a little bit later that I try and hide behind a pile of rocks. That does not stand up to some shots.
Okay.
So there's maybe a little bit of that. I don't know how much of that is going to carry over into other modes, but it's in here. It's in the single player.
Yeah, it's just things that I didn't get to see in my little 10 minutes with the game or whatever. But so this is kind of like a big boss for the Horde mode, or does it get even crazier?
No, this was pretty much the biggest. There was another one of these later, so I think it's mid boss and final boss. So and if you haven't noticed, you can switch in between first and third person. You can do that on the fly in the middle of a match, but it all automatically switches you back to first person when you respawn. So just kind of stuck with that after a while. I'm hoping that they change that. There is a way to set it in the options which one you want default, but I feel like it should change your default based on what you decide to be at that moment.
Now there are other. Okay, so there is some good destruction. That's
it was
cool.
actually really cool.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The physics or whatever look pretty good. You're playing this by yourself?
Yes.
But you can play with other people.
You can play this up to 2, I think. This is just kind of a co-op mode.
Okay. All right.
It may have another online, but I know in the beta
that stuff looks really good.
Right? Yeah.
So, final thoughts on this. What are you're still more excited than you were before, which was extremely excited. So now you're just out of this world about
exactly
this game.
I was playing this and I turned to my friend. I'm like, I'm going to play a ton of this game. I'm just it's going to get me right back in. I played a lot of Battlefront 2.
More excited about this or Halo 5?
Right now, honestly, this.
Really?
Which is very weird because I'm huge
This one's
Halo
fresher
fan.
more fresh in your mind.
Maybe if Master Chief Collection hadn't been
Some of that
horribly
stuff looks really, really good. Jeez, I kind of want to see this in action myself. I'm definitely going to hop onto the beta.
Yep, I highly recommend. And I think, people have complained. People have gotten pretty down on the game because of the features that are kind of missing. But I think that once they get a look at what's in the game, they'll be happy either way. If they just have to overlook that maybe there's no space battles, that's fine. I think everyone will be pretty happy with it.